Hey, welcome to the Focal Point. Sunday night. It's going to be a, kind of an intimate show, but don't worry, we're having them back on a Saturday next time. Let's see. It's been a while since I announced, so I'll just make it short and sweet. For more information on anything coming up at Focal Point, you can look us up on Facebook at Focal Point Concerts or go to thefocalpoint.org for more information. And with that, I'm going to shut up and let these guys play.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. What a gorgeous night. And we're just gonna start playing and play right on through, and one big long set. And I hope you enjoy it. We're glad that you're here. So we're going to start off with a classic Stanley Brothers number here, one called "The Sweetest Love."
It's a story of two childhood sweethearts and the love that we shared still untold. How our simple little vows, they were broken, and the love that I treasure more than gold. Are you tired of the life that you're living? Does your mind wander back to the past? Do you think of love you've forsaken? Darling, true love is too sweet to last. Someone new. Do you realize the heartache you caused me? You should know that my love was so true. Are you tired of the life that you're living? Does your mind wander back to the past? Do you think of the love you've forsaken? Darling, true love is too sweet to last. you tell me the time? How much longer will it be till we cross that Mason-Dixon line? At daylight, would you tell that engineer to slow her down? Or better still, just stop the train, 'cause I wanna look around. Hey porter, what time did you say? How much longer will it be till I can see the light of day? When we hit Dixie, would you tell that engineer to ring his bell? And ask everybody that ain't asleep to stand right up and yell. It's a getting line outside. This old train, she's a puffin' smoke, and I have to strain my eyes. But ask that engineer if he would blow his whistle, please, 'cause I smell frost on cotton leaves, and I feel that southern breeze. Hey porter, please get my bags for me. I need nobody to tell me now that we're in Tennessee. But tell that engineer to make his lonesome whistle scream. We're not so far from home, so take it easy on the street. Open up the door. When they stop this train, I'm gonna get off first, 'cause I can't wait no more. But tell that engineer I said thanks a lot and I didn't mind the fare. I'm gonna set my feet on southern soil, breathe that southern air. I'm gonna set my feet on southern soil and breathe that southern air.
Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3.
Now as I sigh the hours away, I think of love of yesterday. Now I know she's gone away. She's in heaven, so they say. Will the angels tell her for me that our love never died? Someday I'll walk along beside her on that golden way up there. Now all our lives we lived so gaily until she had to go away. Then she left me all so lonely. She lies at rest beneath the clay. Will the angels tell her for me that our love never died? Someday I'll walk along beside her on that golden way up there.
thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Well, we did a few numbers off of an album that I released back in 2015, entitled "Songs of Heart and Home," and that was one of those times I got to check one off of the bucket list. For many years, I've been doing albums with various bands I've played in, and then also, the wonderful privilege I've had of being asked to be a guest vocalist or an instrumentalist on somebody else's project, but never had an album where I had my name out on the front of it. And so I figured there was one summer after I turned 50, I finally realized for the first time that I wasn't getting any younger. And so if I'm going to do this, maybe I better get it done. So I went in the studio, got it done, and I was really surprised at the response that the album got. By the end of 2015, I released it in September, and 4 months on the radio. Speaking of radio, it's great to have Walter and Willa Volts here. They've done a great job in supporting my music and sharing my music on their radio program. Thank you, Walter, and thank you, Willa. Appreciate it a whole lot. And but only 4 months on the air, and it ended up being one of the top 100 bluegrass CDs played around the world, coming in at number 7. So I was really super surprised about that. And then the year after that, it ended up being number 10. So I happen to have some of those CDs with me, just in case your collection is not complete.
What number is it now?
What number is it now? It's number 473. So. That's what. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. What do you think about this band I brought with me tonight? Oh, I tell you what, we've been on tour. So we played Starvey Creek last weekend, and then Hoba over at the Hoba Festival over at West Plains this weekend, and then yesterday over at Moscow Mills, and then ending up the tour here tonight at the Focal Point. So thanks again for having us. Thank you for coming out.
We learned it's not Moscow Mills, it's Moscow Mills.
Yeah, it's yeah. We learned that. Not the hard way either. We asked, we investigated. Okay.
I thought we was going to Russia when I heard about it.
That's right. Yeah, Todd thought he saw that Moscow Mills.
I was figuring how I was going to get my camper over there.
But he was disappointed that it wasn't an international tour. So.
Yeah.
But I want to feature the band members right now and just show you how good they are. It's not all about me. These guys, I love these guys. We're best buddies. We played music in different configurations for many, many years, and it's just wonderful to be able to share the stage with them. Over there on the bass, all the way from Bolivar, Missouri, he's a professor at Southwest Baptist University, Mr. Grant Cochran.
They gave me my own mic tonight. I don't get that often.
Well, we've been hearing these little murmurings about the problem and the plight of the unnamed bass player. Yes. Everywhere you go in media and everywhere, they name the guitar player, they name the lead singer, they name the mandolin player and the banjo player, but they just leave the bass player out.
What is my name, Greg?
Your name is Grant Cochran, ladies and gentlemen. Please make him feel welcome. He's going to sing a song that we borrowed from the Dillards, from Salem, Missouri. It's one called "I'll Never See My Home Again."
Standing tall in the shadow where the woods are dark and still, to watching weathered shack with thoughts keep turning back to my old mountain home below the hill. Oh, I left it in the springtime when the flowers were in bloom, and I told the folks I'd see them in the fall. But the road keeps stretching onward from the cradle to the tomb, and I guess I'll never see my folks at all. hear the geese crying in the sky. I can see the dry leaves blowing in the rain. I miss the wood fires on a cold and rainy night, when the trees are scratching at my window pane. Oh, I left it in the springtime when the flowers were in bloom, and I told the folks I'd see them in the fall. But the road keeps stretching onward from the cradle to the tomb, and I guess I'll never see my folks at all. As the years go by and the seasons pass away, that home place keeps returning to my mind. I'd give my life to see that place so dear to me, that holler in the woods I left behind. Oh, I left it in the springtime when the flowers were in bloom, and I told the folks I'd see them in the fall. But the road keeps stretching onward from the cradle to the tomb, and I guess I'll never see my folks at all. And all the birds were singing in the glen, but the road keeps stretching onward from the cradle to the tomb, and I guess I'll never see my home again.
Thank you so much. Mr. Grant Cochran over there on the bass. Mighty fine job, Grant. Now I'd like to introduce the other two members of the band here. Over on the 5-string banjo, all the way from Excelsior Springs, Missouri.
Close enough.
Mr. Todd Davis on the 5-string banjo.
Thank you.
And then over here on the on the mandolin,
Ukulele.
the ukulele, the little guitar. From north of the river there in the Kansas City area, around Gladstone and Happy Rock there. I've known this young man since he was 16 years old. Now he's all grown up and married and has two beautiful little girls, and just a great guy. I knew he was going to turn out all right. Sometimes I say I wondered about him back then.
But you knew.
I knew all.
You had to face it.
I did. Mr. Brian McCarty over here.
Thank you.
And Todd and Brian are going to sing a duet for you right now that was co-written by the father of bluegrass music, Mr. Bill Monroe, and also one of the greatest country singers and writers that ever graced a stage. Unfortunately, we lost him at the way too early age of 29 years. And of course, I'm referring to the hillbilly Shakespeare, Mr. Hank Williams Sr. And Hank and Bill wrote this tune, and Bill performed it quite a bit. And Todd and Brian are going to put their scald on it for you tonight. This is one called I'm Blue and I'm Lonesome. 1, 2, 3.
The
Thank you.
The two young country singers, Todd Davis and Brian McCarty.
One of them's younger than the other, though.
That's right.
I'm gonna say which one.
We ain't gonna say which one. We don't want to get no fights started here tonight. So, one of the things that I always appreciated about, I was a big fan of Flat and Scruggs growing up as a kid, and one of the things I always appreciated was, of course, Earl's 5-string banjo playing, and of course Todd is one of the greatest Scruggs-style banjo players that you're going to find anywhere in the state of Missouri or in the Midwest, really. And but one of the things that Earl would do a lot of times is he would set the 5-string down and he'd pick up his old Martin D18 guitar and leave his finger picks on and play it kind of 3-finger style. And Todd's listened to quite a bit to Earl do that. And I love it when Todd picks up the guitar and picks a little finger style. I do just with a flat pick, and what I do. So you'll get both a sample of both styles of guitar picking tonight, flat picking as well as finger style picking. And we're going to do a song off of that album that I was mentioning, written by one of my favorite Canadian singer-songwriters. And no, I'm not referring to Justin Bieber. But I'm referring to Ian Tyson. I don't know how many Ian Tyson fans we may have out there. Good. And but Ian and his wife Sylvia had a hit song off of this. It was an international hit, and then came over into bluegrass. I was introduced to it back in 1975 when J.D. Crowe formed a group with a bunch of teenage boys by the name of Tony, Ricky, and Jerry. Tony Rice, Ricky Skaggs, and Jerry Douglas. J.D. Crowe and the New South. And don't forget, and the unnamed bass player, Bobby Sloan. And so, and I hope you like it. This is our version of it. It's one called Summer Wages. Never hit 17. You play against the dealer, for you know that the odds won't ride with you. And never leave your woman alone. When your friends are out to steal her, she may be gambled, she may be lost, like summer wages. We'll keep rolling on till we get to Vancouver, where the woman that I love, she's living there. It's been 6 long months or since I've seen her. She may be gambled, she may be gone, like summer wages. And all the beer taverns all down along Main Street, where the dreams of a season all spilled out on the floor. All the big stands of timber just waiting for fall, and the hustlers sit and watch for me as they wait there by the door. Guess I'll work on them towboats in my slippery city shoes, which I swore that I would never do again. Through the gray fog-bound straits, where the cedars stand watching, I'll be far off. Yes, I'll be gone like summer wages.
guess I've lost my summer wages.
Years are gambled and lost like summer wages.
Thank you. Well, while we're in that vein of sad, sappy, pathetic love songs, we'll just do another one for you. This is one that was written by Utah Phillips, and I understand that he wrote this after a bad breakup. So you may be able to understand.
Is this autobiographical?
This is sentiment. I don't think so. And so I'm just warning you that it's more than just sad. It's really plumb pathetic. It really is. But the law firm back in Kansas City that we have under retainer for the Greg Blake and Hometown Band, that is the prestigious law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. They insist that we give this disclaimer before we perform this song, that we do not condone, espouse, nor participate in the actions expressed in the lyrics of this song. We just like it because it's a pretty tune. So, there, I got that legal. got the legal stuff out of the way, so we're covered, especially since this is on video.
All right, it's your hand. Let's rock and roll.
Yes, it's one called Rock, Salt, and Nails. On the banks of the river, where the willows hang down, with their low morning sound, down in the hollow where the waters run cold. It was there I first listened to the lies that you told. Now I lie on my bed and I see your sweet face. Past I remember, time cannot erase. The letter you wrote me, it was written in shame. And I know that your conscience still echoes my name. Now the nights are so long, Lord, sorrow runs deep. Nothing is worse than a night without sleep. Walk out alone and look up at the sky. Too empty to see, too lonesome to cry. If the ladies were blackbirds and the ladies were thrushes, I'd lie there for hours in the chilly cold marshes. If the ladies shotgun with a rock salt and nails.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Well, before we have Todd put this guitar down and pick up the banjo, we will do a gospel number. Hopefully, maybe to redeem ourselves from that last.
That's all.
You pay me
Absolve.
more to play two instruments, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yep, you keep on believing that.
I just spent a week and a half with him in a camper, so I believe anything at this point. I told him we was going to end up divorced before it was over with.
Are you starting to question reality?
Well, that too. Camper gets small after a few days.
This night air is wreaking havoc here on my guitar, but we're hanging in. We'll hang in there.
I'm glad it's not me. Oh, I'm in the pocket.
Todd's gotten really good with that camper this week. He backed up half a mile in reverse down this crowded street 2 days ago. It was really good.
It's pretty
Fun
impressive.
to watch.
Yeah.
Next to no casualties.
Well, I had some good spotters. Brian was on the phone and Grant was watching the other sides.
And he
How
only
many
had
bluegrass-
one heckler.
I was going to say, how many bluegrassers does it take to back up a camper?
Exactly. There we go.
Now we know.
Now we know. Here's a gospel number for you, one called Preaching, Praying, Singing.
Preaching, praying, singing everywhere, shouting God's praises of His love and care. All of God's children sing together there, preaching, praying, singing down on the public square. I was a stranger there, intent upon my way, but when I saw the crowd, I had the urge to stay. I heard a welcome voice bidding me to come and share. They're preaching, praying, singing down on the public square. Preaching, praying, singing everywhere, shouting God's praises of His love and care. All of God's children sing together there, preaching, praying, singing down on the public square. I felt so much at home amid the happy throng that came from far and near to praise His name in song, to lay their burden down, forget their every care, and have an old-time meeting down on the public square. Preaching, praying, singing everywhere, shouting God's praises of His love and care. All of God's children sing together there, preaching, praying, singing down on the public square. Now as I journey on and think back o'er the day, I am convinced of this: these folks have found a way to put their hearts in song, just praying on His prayer, and leave the joy bells ringing down on the public square. Preaching, praying, singing everywhere, shouting God's praises of His love and care. All of God's children sing together there, preaching, praying, singing down on the public square. Preaching, praying, singing down on the public square.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Well, I'll tell you what, isn't it just great to be back out amongst people and enjoying live music? Oh, yeah, we appreciate this. And again, thanks so much to the Focal Point and the staff here for providing a venue that we can do this and we can still enjoy live music and feel safe, and we just really appreciate that. And one of the tragedies, of course, of COVID was that full-time musicians such as myself that normally are on the road at the height of sometimes 250 days a year, and just the rug was pulled out from under us. So we had to come up with creative ways to to still put some groceries on the table, and I found out about live streaming, did that. And then also, for a long time, I've been wanting to do a lot more writing, original material. And so with all of that time off, I had a lot of time to be able to do some writing. So went into the studio and took some original songs. And this band here, this configuration, we were able to go to Johnson City, Tennessee, and get into the studio there. And we got 12 songs recorded. Hopefully an album will be coming forth for too long. We've done all our part. We sung and played as pretty as we could.
It's in the can.
It's in the can, as they say. and the artwork's already ready too. So I mean, we're just waiting on the label, and to whatever they want to pull the trigger to release it. So Walter, Willa, we'll make sure you get a copy. So we want to do maybe give you a little sneak preview. We don't have that CD with us right now, but we're going to do maybe 3 or 4 songs from that album that's coming out right now, and we hope you like them. See, tell us what you think. So one of them, I'm a huge fan of the singing of John Starling. He was one of the original founding members of the great Washington, D.C. group, the Seldom Seen. And we lost John about 1.5 years ago, and wanted to commemorate his memory and his career by recording this song. It's one of my favorites of his that he wrote. Hope you enjoy it. We want to send this out to the memory of John Starling and all those wonderful Starling fans and Seldom Seen fans. It's one called Gardens and Memories.
Through my garden of memories, gathering the flowers from the past, listening to the sounds of yesterday, knowing that nothing ever lasts. Sunflowers shining brightly in the sun, she was the one that I had known, but when she left what we had begun, I looked and my garden had grown. Sunshine, memories in the rain, walking till dreams were green. Yesterday from sunshine and rain. Your garden grow? Do you mind it every day? Or will I die when the north winds blow, wondering where the children play? Sunflowers shining brightly in the sun, she was the one that I had known, but when she left what we had begun, I looked and my garden had grown. Sunshine, memories in the rain, walking till dreams were green. Yesterday from sunshine and rain. Yesterday from sunshine and rain.
Thank you. Well, if we have some Missouri natives here tonight, and you're familiar with the bluegrass scene in Missouri, maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago. If I mention the name Randall Hilton, it'll ring a bell. Yeah, I thought it would to some. And Randall was an incredible songwriter and just overall entertainer and performer. He could put on a show and keep an audience captively engaged, even with just his solo act. He was about 6'8", and then a lot of times when he would perform down at Silver Dollar City, he'd wear one of those big, tall stovepipe hats. So it looked like when he was walking down around the streets and the up and down the hills of Silver Dollar City, it looked like a 2-story building walking around. So we put this song of his on our album, on our new album that's coming out as well. It's entitled "The Sky is Weeping."
Sorrowful sigh. The sky is weeping for me tonight. Tears fall from heaven like soft summer rain. God up above me must know I'm in pain. That broken down trestle looks just like my life. The sky is weeping for me tonight. False-hearted lovers, unfaithful friends, booze and wild parties, nights without end. I know I'd sink him clear outside. The sky is weeping for me tonight. Lonely old train yards lost in the rain, sadly forgotten like yesterday's trains. I'll fight back the teardrops with all of my mind. The sky is weeping for me tonight. Yesterday's trains, I'll fight back the teardrops with all of my mind. The sky is weeping for me tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Another song we put there on the album was a song that I first heard after Doyle Lawson quit the Country Gentleman back in the late 70s and formed his own band. I thought the world was coming to an end when I heard that Doyle Lawson was quitting the Country Gentleman. But then my hopes were renewed and lifted back up when I heard that first downbeat of the new band, Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. And those of us who've been followers of Doyle since then, we know that he's just been he's one of those current living legends, really. I understand that recent news, he's going to be out on the road one more year next year, and then he's hanging it up, so supposedly. So he says. I'm of the opinion that the sound that Doyle created with that, even that initial group, and that he's he's carried through all of the various configurations of DLQ. Has been one of the most formative sounds in bluegrass music since 1980. And even all of the young kids out there who are getting in corners of places and mashing, it still harks back to that sound, that drive that Doyle got. So this song has kind of fell out of popularity in jam circles, but this was on one of the very first recordings that Doyle and Quicksilver put out. So we're trying to resurrect it. It's one called Georgia Girl.
As I sit here alone with my memories, thinking back to the years long ago, through the pine-covered hills down in Georgia, and the sweet girl that I used to know. She was young and in love with me only. I was footloose and foolish, I guess, so I wandered right out of her sweet Georgia heart, and the fact that I'm lonely tells the rest. How I miss my Georgia girl today. How I miss the pine woods and the red hot Georgia clay. I miss the simple life so many miles away. How I miss my Georgia girl today. Shining bright on my doorstep, like I've seen shining bright in her eyes. But it's cold here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and I shiver through the long winter nights. 15 years has slipped through my fingers. I'm forgotten, I know, by this time. But I'd walk through the snow down through Georgia in the cold if I thought she'd be waiting this time. How I miss my Georgia girl today. How I miss the pine woods and the red hot Georgia clay. I miss the simple life so many miles away. How I miss my Georgia girl today. Georgia clay. I miss the simple life so many miles away. How I miss my Georgia girl today. How I miss my Georgia girl today.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm not the only songwriter in the band, that's for sure. Grant writes some songs, and with the help of his wife Monica, who happens to be here tonight. Welcome, Monica. What a nice surprise when we heard that you were coming. Glad that you made it. Did you come just to make sure Grant gets home safely?
Yeah.
Sure.
I can't see you. These lights are blinding me. So if you were shaking your head, I wasn't ignoring you.
Yeah, my wife's here tonight, my daughter Raina, and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They live 2 blocks away, so they walked over here too. We used to always tell about how my sister-in-law used to live in Normal, Illinois, and she moved to Normal, Illinois the very week that we moved to Peculiar, Missouri. So my mother-in-law had a normal daughter and a peculiar daughter.
Fittingly so. But Grant and Monica wrote this song a few years back, and we definitely wanted to record it on our album. And it's one of those themes about how a young person growing up out in the country and working on the farm with mom and dad, and just thinks that life would be so much better if I could get as far away from the farm and my home and my parents as possible and get into the big city, and everything would just be all right. And then once they get there, they find out, man, I wished I'd have never left home.
Heed the warning, Raina, my daughter.
This is one called In the Wind. He was youngest, the last of their children, raised with a good book to abide. Together they worked in the mountains. He was mother's joy, father's pride. He grew strong and straight as a cedar, with hands firm and sure on the plow. But his heart, it was wild and unbridled. To leave home was his secret vow. For his spirit was wild as the winter that blows through the firs on the mountainside. And hill folks still say to their children, in the wind you can hear how he cries. He dreamed of the nights bright as noontime in cities below where he roamed. So writing a note he did leave them to seek a life out on his own. For his spirit was wild as the winter that blows through the firs on the mountainside. And hill folks still say to their children, in the wind you can hear how he cries. Through prayers and tears wait his parents, believing he'll come home again. But his memory is long removed from them. That dark city has swallowed him in. For his spirit was wild as the winter that blows through the firs on the mountainside. And hill folks still say to their children, in the wind you can hear how he cries. For his spirit was wild as the winter that blows through the firs on the mountainside. And hill folks still say to their children, in the wind you can hear his parents cry. Thank you so much. So there's a little sampling of some of the songs that be coming out on that album, and we're anxious for you to get it into your hands, to get it into your homes, in your cars, and on your iPods and iPads and iPatches. So that's a new device that Apple's coming out with.
That was a yoke.
That was a yoke. Okay. Well, we play these songs, and particularly, songs with words. And banjo players get a little antsy, because they gotta pick tunes. It's all that Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper he's been drinking, but I think sometimes. But we're gonna turn him loose on an instrumental here. I believe this was on an old Jimmy Martin album many years ago, full of instrumentals, wasn't it? And who was playing the banjo on this?
Big and country instrumentals.
Big and country instrumentals. Walter, Willie, you got that one in your collection?
You should have.
Yeah, it's a good album. Big and country instrumentals. Jimmy Martin and the Sunny Mountain Boys. Who was playing the banjo on that album? Do you remember?
JD.
JD. Well, here we go. JD Crow. So
Bill Yates.
that's pretty good. So this is one that we're gonna feature Todd on. We'll all get a little piece of it. It's one called Big Country. As soon as he gets it in tune here. Here we go. Todd Davis on the 5-string banjo. Man, those fingers
Was
were,
that too slow?
that was way too slow. Do it again.
Okay.
Man, those fingers were flying everywhere and they never left his hand. Oh. I get a drink of water.
Well, we sure hope you folks have had a good time, and thank you for having us out here. Really, we appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
It's been a wonderful night, and fella that's been doing all the talking. Man, I don't even know where to start or where to finish with him. So I'll keep it as short as I can. He's
No, go on.
okay, we'll go on. Now let's see. Let's list his accomplishments here. Where did I put that? You know what? We'll shoot.
I wrote it on the back of that $20 bill that I gave you.
Oh, that's right. I already spent that.
Oh.
Okay. He is the 5-time Midwest Society for the Preservation of Bluegrass Music Association's flat-picking guitar player of the year. To start with, he's the current newest member of the Special Consensus. If any of you have ever heard of the Special Consensus out there, great act. And Used to be a preacher, full-time counselor, pretty much. We come to him with all of our woes and wants. But he can't do much for us. Anyways, make him welcome Mr. Greg Blake.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. I'll echo what Brian said. It is a pleasure to be here. What a lovely night. Again, thank you, Focal Point, and everybody connected to this wonderful venue for having us. And we'd love to come back sometime next year, perhaps. We'll figure out a time when we can come back on a Saturday night. So, but as I was saying a little bit earlier, one of the things that I tried to do during the COVID shutdown was to try to write some songs, and I got together with some co-writing buddies of mine, Don Kinney and David Morris, and we put this song together, and kind of ended up actually being a little bit autobiographical. And so the song is the title song for my new solo album that's coming out. It's supposed to be a follow-up to Songs of Heart and Home. And I had the idea that for a concept album, and I wanted to call it People, Places, and Songs. And it was going to be songs about, the people who have been influential in our lives, either for the good or for the bad, and the places that we've been, either literally or figuratively in our lives that have been, places of importance and watersheds, events and moments in our lives, and the songs that we write about those, and then that we love, that bring those people and places to our minds and hearts. And when I shared that with Dawn Kinney, she said, "Well, that's a great idea for an album, but that phrase, that's a hook in and of itself. That we'll write a song and that'll just sing itself." And so that's what we did. And we got together a couple times via Zoom, the three of us did, and this is what we came up with.
No, you keep it.
And we released it back in the early part of the year. And again, it's been doing very well. In April, it entered the Bluegrass Unlimited's Top 30 National Survey. And it's been there every month, and then for October coming up, it has climbed to number 7 on the Bluegrass Unlimited Top 30 chart. Thank you. And so we're going to share it with you tonight. Hope you like it. It's one called People, Places, and Songs. Folks are gone now, Olmsted turned to weeds. When I close my eyes, I can still see everything. West Virginia holler, a creaky front porch swing. June and Johnny on the phonograph, while me and Mama sing. People, places, and songs, make us who we are and tell us we belong. A part of us forever, rocks we build our lives upon. People, places, and songs. I remember all the faces, those who believed in me, every voice that led to where I was meant to be. Wherever this road takes me, whatever life may bring, there the rhythm and the rhyme in every line I sing. People, places, and songs, the things that make us who we are, tell us we belong. A part of us forever, rocks we build our lives upon. People, places, and songs.
played my last show, will they sing my life story? Will I be a face in someone's memory? People, places, and songs, the things that make us who we are and tell us we belong. A part of us forever, rocks we build our lives upon. People, places, and songs. People, places, and songs.
Thank you. Somehow tonight.
Somehow tonight I feel lonely, my darling. Somehow tonight I feel blue. Somehow tonight these tears might keep falling. Come back, sweetheart, and true.
Well, I thought your love was something I could treasure, to brighten the pathway through the years. Now all I can see is darkness in the future. That's what I long to have you near.
Somehow tonight I feel lonely, my darling. Somehow tonight I feel blue. Somehow tonight these tears might keep falling. Come back, sweetheart, and true.
Well, I never knew what loneliness meant, darling, until I watched you walk away. I long to hear you whisper that you love me. Oh, I can't forget our happy days.
Somehow tonight I feel lonely, my darling. Somehow tonight I feel blue. Somehow tonight these tears might keep falling. Come back, sweetheart, and be true. Somehow tonight I feel lonely, my darling. Somehow tonight I feel blue. Somehow tonight these tears might keep falling. Come back, sweetheart, and be true.
Thank you so much, folks. I tell you what, we've had a great time tonight. We'll do another song for you. Have you had a good time? Oh, I'll just have one more question for you. Would you rather be here tonight than the best hospital in St. Louis County? Well, by that response, I'm going to take that as an affirmative. You'd rather be here. Although I do understand that some of these hospitals serve really good meals. We've had a great time being here with you. Once again, a big thanks to the Focal Point. Give them a hand. It's a wonderful thing when people are dedicated like they are to make sure that they provide good roots music, Americana, bluegrass, and the various music that goes here at this venue. And so we salute you, and thanks again for having us and being a part. This has been, you've been doing this since 1975, is that right? Did I hear right? Yeah, that's awesome. That's just wonderful, and just keep it up. And folks, the way that they'll be able to keep it up is that you keep coming out like tonight and supporting live music and supporting live bands, and so it'll keep going. And of course, we want to thank the technical folks here tonight that are videoing this concert, and then also Eric back there on the sound. Thank you so much.
Good job on it.
So comfortable up here, and that makes our job so much easier and so much more fun when the sound is good. So thank you so much. And once again, how about the boys here over? Grant Cochran over on the bass, Todd Davis on the 5-string banjo and the guitar every once in a while, Brian McCarty on the mandolin. I'm Greg Blake. We're Greg Blake in Hometown. We're going to get on down the road with this one, Old Stanley Brothers traditional number 1 called Little Maggie.
Now over yonder stands little Maggie with a dram glass in her hand. She's drinking away her trouble and a carton another man. Oh, the last time I saw little Maggie, she was sitting on the banks of the sea with a 44 around her and a banjo on her knee. Now pretty flowers were made for blooming, pretty stars were made to shine, pretty women were made for loving, and little Maggie was made to be mine. Now you throw down your last gold dollar, you throw down your gold watch and chain. Little Maggie's gonna dance for Daddy. Now just listen to this old guitar ring. Now go away, little Maggie. Go and do the best that you can, or I'll get me another woman. You can get you another man.
Thank you so much, folks. God bless you. Have a great evening. Thank you so very much. Thank you.